Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So what are your impressions of Valhalla, just for folks that have not seen it on TV or didn't watch the Ryder Cups or past majors?
You know, they see a PGA maybe at a Southern Hills or a Bet Page or, whatever it may be. And they're like, Valhalla and Louisville, Kentucky. But like, look at the tournaments produced and it's insane. Yeah. It really has. And obviously, of course, I'm biased toward it.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Happy Friday night, guys. What is up? Welcome into another edition of InGame Live. Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault. Friday nights here on SportsGrid. Hopefully you guys are into the rhythm of seeing us every Friday night, taking you through all the big events happening. We got NBA playoffs. We got NHL playoffs. We got baseball. We got a fight here in Vegas tomorrow night. We got a big horse race in Kentucky. The rain held off. The Oaks was awesome. I am 1-0 on the day, Dave. We came in with a 4-1. She was barreling down the home stretch. We got there with Torpedo Anna already in. It's a good way to start a Friday night. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. I just talked to you a couple hours ago, and in between, you hit a horse race. For a guy that only bets one horse race a weekend, a year, that's a hell of a start to a Friday night. I love it. Torpedo Anna, the beginning, the Oaks is the big race for the girls the day before. The Derby's tomorrow. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of things. We'll talk about that. We've been talking to people all week on the BVB. Got some good intel. Shout out to all those guys, Todd and Moose and the Randy Moss. It was great. So, yeah, the fight is interesting. Well, what do you have a real strong opinion about the fight? I mean, it's rinse and repeat, right? Cinco de Mayo weekend, Canelo wins.
Oh, he wins, but how does he win is the question. Like, I'm not laying $5 on Canelo Alvarez in this fight, but if you look at the numbers, it's minus 180 to go to the cards at most books. He's minus 105 in some range. If you fight to go the distance, minus 180. Him by decision is minus 105. If you want rinse and repeat, look, it's Vegas. Canelo Alvarez doesn't lose in Vegas, okay? These are FanDuel odds. I don't think he knocks out this kid. This kid's 27 years old. He's undefeated. He has a chance to bring out the best in Canelo because I think actually he's going to stand there and exchange. These are two Mexican fighters. The reason why Canelo is fighting this dude is because he's from Tijuana. This is Mexico against Mexico. You don't see this very often. All four belts for Canelo are on the line here for this fight. You don't normally see Canelo do this because it doesn't matter to him. There's nothing at risk. He's risking everything. This kid's risking nothing in this fight. But you're going to see Canelo, I think, try to knock him out. I don't think he's going to be able to, but I think ultimately he goes to the cards, and then Canelo wins the fight by decision. So that's how I'm going to be betting it. It's Canelo by decision, but Canelo having the fight go either over number of rounds or go to the cards at minus 180. That's how I think the fight's going to go. But it could be entertaining. It could be a decent fight.
It's been a while since we had a really entertaining Canelo fight. Let's call it for what
Fair.
it is. I just want to see a good fight. We saw a good fight. What was that, a week ago? 2 weeks ago? With the Garcia and Haney? I mean, that turned out to be an entertaining fight. Turns out there was a lot of controversy with that fight.
Afterwards.
But I don't want no controversy, and I want to see a good fight. Has he got a chance of knocking him out? I mean, you don't think so?
I think he does, but the kid he doesn't. That's the point. Canelo does knock anybody out. Right. Canelo is not a knockout artist. That's not his thing. He's just a point fighter. And at this point in his career, why is he going to risk opening up to get a knockout where a kid might be able to counterpunch him and catch him? So I don't think Canelo is going to fight a highly entertaining fight. But this is why, in my opinion, this is why Oscar De La Hoya did what he did on Tuesday, in which he basically called Canelo a cheater and said he's been running away from Mejia. And that's why this fight has taken so long to be made, because Canelo likes to cheat. And so that really made Canelo angry. And he stood there toe to toe and he started to say a bunch of words and swear words. And Canelo is now trying to talk more in English. You see him being on SportsCenter. You see him going on First Take. He's trying to broaden the brand because he has the entire audience in Mexico. Like every fight fan in Mexico loves Canelo. They buy the fight. He fights, the world stops in Mexico. But in America, he has not really had the same type of success. And so he's trying to communicate in English a lot more. He's okay at it. He's not great, but he's much better than what he was, say, 3 or 4 years ago when he wouldn't talk anything in English, only Spanish, and he had to have a translator whenever he was trying to trash talk. It lost a lot of the oomph that you need. So he's trying, but this is a showcase fight. I don't think he's going to risk all that much, and this is a payday for him on Cinco de Mayo weekend in Vegas, and he's a cash cow to those properties in Vegas that love to see the fight fans come in from out of the country. So I don't think he'll knock him out. I think he'll win the fight, though. I'll be very surprised to see Canelo lose the fight.
Well, hopefully we'll be celebrating either a nice trifecta hit or maybe an exacta hit a little bit earlier with the Derby. By the time we get to this fight, we can roll all of it onto you're selling me pretty good on the decision. I mean, I haven't seen Canelo knock anybody out. I can't remember the last time he did. So,
well, I was there. I mean, I was there for I saw one of the most vicious knockouts in his career when he knocked out Amir Khan in a sound that I still had never gotten out of my brain. I was ringside. It was one of the few times I've been ringside, but it sounded like a baseball bat hitting a watermelon, and he knocked him in the next week. And if you remember, Khan didn't get up for about 5 minutes. He hit him as hard as I've ever seen someone get hit in a boxing ring. And so Canelo, if you give him the window, he can do it to you. But
that was at MGM, right?
Sounds right. Yeah, a smaller arena. Wasn't that T-Mobile?
Vanguard Arena. Yeah.
Yep. Because T-Mobile wasn't built yet. So it wasn't open yet. So yeah, I think it's very possible for that was there. So, I mean, I've been in Vegas a long time now. So that was 6-7 years ago when that fight fight went down, but it was unbelievable. I mean, that was one of those moments where you're like, I knew exactly where I was and I'll always remember that sound. But, you know, I saw him fight Kovalev and I saw him fight both Triple G fights here in Vegas. And, you know, most of the fights I've seen for Canelo, and it's been a lot of them. I think I've seen 5 so far in my life watching Canelo fight. They've all gone to the cards except for the Khan fight. So it's highly likely. But again, when you have lesser opponents, he may want to put up that type of window there and say, you know, we want to take a plus 185 flyer. Fine. I don't think he's at any risk of being knocked out or losing on the cards. Canelo will never lose his belts. Now, he lost a fight here in Vegas on the cards when he moved up in weight. That was not for his belts. This is for his belts. He will never lose a fight in Vegas with his belts are on the line, on the cards.
That's called a 5-way in the industry, right? That's what we used to call it in the book. When you see 5 options there, fight result, points or decision, knockout or TKO. There it is. Good job, boys. Points or decision for the other fighter, KO or TKO, and draw. Basically, we can roll out 3 of those right now. It's not losing the fight. Okay?
Right.
So do you want to lay 105? You want to take 185? Or do you want to cover both and lay 525? Now, his inability to knock people out kind of cancels that out. Basically, what you're telling me. So that minus 105 on a fighter that's going to, I mean, this would be a huge upset if he gets caught on Cinco de Mayo weekend here in Vegas.
Oh,
come on.
People in Vegas would be crying. The books, a lot of places would be crying if that happens. One, the books would be crying, but two, also just the properties would be crying because this guy he's been the cash cow in May and September, Cinco de Mayo weekend and Mexican Independence weekend. Those are the two staple times that Canelo fights here in Vegas. And he's done that for years now. So, and they fill up the properties. They all come out. They buy every ticket. I mean, the first time I went there, I was like, "Am I still in America?" I was like, "Where am I?" Like, it was insane. The pageantry, the national anthems, everything. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "This is amazing." Like, there were not very many American fight
fans.
fans.
Should have worked in the books. People would come in and make bets in Spanish. There was no English.
Oh yeah,
they would just come in and make. We had a lot of bilingual writers. My Spanish is terrible, but even I figured out. Canelo. Knockout. I would walk it through, type the bets. Bank does 20, right. Cento is 100, I think. I forget the numbers, but it was like, make right, all the bets. Diaz, 10, done.
Yeah.
Easy.
Well, what's easy right now is betting the unders for these Nashville and the Canuck games. My gosh, 0-0. We're about halfway, about 16 in the second period there. We'll look at the NBA game in action as well with Orlando and Cleveland. Don't move. Matt and Dave with you. It's a Friday night in-game live here on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Drysdale could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
It is a Friday night here on SportsGrid in-game live. Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault, thanks for hanging out with us here tonight. For watching the two games in action in the playoffs, NBA, NHL, no score in hockey, Orlando and Cleveland. Dave, I'm on the under here. We're right on pace. I bet under 199. This game closed around 201.5. It's been okay here with a 49-46 lead for Orlando. The number was 3.5 or 4, depending on what number you played for the Magic here tonight. Did you like Orlando or Cleveland going into this? Because Cleveland can close the series out if they win tonight in Game 6.
Yeah, I'm kind of rooting for Cleveland to win because that way the series is over and we can move on to worrying about Cleveland playing your Celtics. And you, as a Celtics fan, have already by getting Miami, and now you get them extended.
We'll get Dave's connection. We're going to reset and pull back on that. But yeah, I mean, I'm with him though. I mean, Boston getting some rest is good. You get the Porzingis injury, that calf injury, whatever it is. If it's an Achilles, is it a calf injury? It's the same thing that kept Giannis out. Giannis didn't play in the series after he got hurt that way. So there's big worry, obviously, when it comes to that. But yeah, Boston against Cleveland. Everyone is seemingly thinking that Cleveland's going to give Boston trouble. I'm not really one of them on that to see if I think Boston's going to win it in 5 or 6, but I could see it in 6. I could see it in, I guess, in 7, but I don't really think it's going to go that long with that. So we'll see on that. So still no score between Vancouver and Clay. And you seem good to me, Dave. I think you're back. Talk to me, Dave.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, I think you're good. Yeah. So
we'll find out. All right.
Orlando is stretched it out here a little bit, 53-46 for the Magic. You don't think the Magic can win Game 7 in Cleveland?
Nope. This is one of those series every game. So no,
whole team
I don't
every
think so.
game.
Yep. That's what's going to happen. You see these patterns happen. That's what's going to happen. Cleveland wins tonight. They get an extra day or whatever to get ready for whatever that's going to be. Trying to figure out, I was texting a guy today, what the series price would be or because it's got to be competitive, you would think. I mean, it's not Miami. That number, that I've never seen a number like that for a series.
Right.
Boston
4,000.
Played Miami.
Right.
They'd already started at 20-1 and went to 50-1 after the first game.
Yeah. And they lost. It only dropped down to 25-1. When they lost game 2, it dropped down to 25-1. So I mean,
the Knicks trucks to lay that.
The Knicks are only minus 260, 250, depending on where you're looking for them in their series against Indiana. How how much more of a favorite is Boston? 6-1, 5-1.
Maybe 5. I mean, it's probably in the neighborhood. Depends on how clean they get out of this game, Okay. But I mean, if it goes to Game 7, it already goes higher because they got to play an extra game, and they got to have a quicker turnaround. So it all gets adjusted based off of that. I don't know. I mean, if Jack still got the picture, these guys turned me into a fan. While you were gone, they turned me completely.
I saw.
Yeah, they completely turned me into a Knicks fan. It's crazy how that happened, but I think the Pacers can beat the Knicks. What do you? I mean, the Pacers could beat the Knicks.
100%. I totally agree. I mean, you can't sleep on Indiana. This is not like a walk in the park for the New York Knicks. They're going to have to be careful here. Pacers are live at plus 210. They're live, and in particular, if the Pacers lose Game 1, what does that number go to? 3-1, 4-1? Because I think the Pacers can win a series even when they lose Game 1 to the Knicks. In my mind.
Oh, what does the price go to if the Knicks win Game 1?
Yeah, Pacers lose Game 1. They're plus 210 right now. 4-1, 5-1.
It's all based off the favorite price. I'm only doing the favorite price, so it probably goes 260 goes to -5 or 520 or so in that neighborhood. So the take back, depending on, I can't tell you what the take back would be normally because I know what it should be, and it's not that number at all based on what's going on in today's world. So, they probably go to close to 5-1 favorite.
Because I'm comfortable.
At worst,
I mean, I like
450.
I like Indiana there. I mean, I think Indiana. I want to wait and just take a flyer on Indiana because I don't know if the Pacers can win Game 1 in New York. Like Game 1's going to be stupid. Like it's just going to be the most insane environment. Like it's just going to be. That's a really tough place to play for a young basketball team to walk into MSG to play Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals with New York not having been there in forever. I mean, did you see Thibodeau after they beat the Sixers? Like he won the championship. He was jumping up and down like a kid. It's crazy.
Which would
they're going to be electric.
They might be ripe for a letdown.
In game one?
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
in game one.
Yeah.
I don't know in game one.
Yeah.
Game two, I
don't know.
agree. I think they lose the series. I think they're live to lose the series. Just wonder about game one at MSG with that much energy, with that much excitement, with that much passion going on for Knick fans. That's a tough place to play. That's going to be a college basketball environment in there for the first game. It's going to be stupid fun.
Yeah, it's all well and good. I think we'll see a very competitive game. I think, and again, depending who it is. If it's Orlando,
oh, it's 6. Wow, it's 6. Game one's a 6.
What? Oh, the
Knicks are favored by 6. Yeah.
Oh,
Boston's winning in five or 6 games against either Orlando or Cleveland. They might lose 2 games. They'll lose 1. That's about it. They'll have one game where they fell asleep, just like the Heat. They'll have one game where it'll just be like, what the heck's going on? They'll have one game where they'll actually lose and get beat. And then the other 4, they'll win the other 4. Not losing to Cleveland or Orlando. That's not happening. We're at the break. It's 53-49. The Magic leading, trying to keep their season alive. The live number is 5.5. 200.5. 200.5. That is the live total. I'm on under 199. We are on that number. We're going to ride that number all the way to the end of that game. We'll watch that. We'll take a look at some hockey in the late game in the hockey as well. Vegas trying to stay alive next here. InGame Live on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're going to make this all about teams. We're going to have home games, and you know, that's going to be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
It's a Friday night. Matt Perrault and Dave Sharapan with you guys here on SportsGrid. We will check in with Smiley Kaufman a little bit later on this hour of the program, and then buckle up for Cam Stewart. It could be very interesting. Game 7, Bruins, Maple Leafs tomorrow at the Garden. Whose ghosts will show up? Toronto has gone really, really south in Game 7s against the Boston Bruins, but the Bruins blew a 3-1 lead last year. Looking like they may blow a 3-1 lead this year in the first round of the playoffs, which could probably spell the doom of Jim Montgomery, the head coach of the Bruins, who will probably be out if they lose that game coming up tomorrow. No score. Vancouver and Nashville. Vancouver trying to close this series out. Nashville trying to keep themselves alive. Dave, 3.5. The live total. Under is heavily juiced at minus 235. We're going to see 4 goals here in this game, or are we getting a 2-1 or a 1-0 final?
Yep. That's the scores. 3-1 would be an empty netter.
Open net? Yeah.
That's it. But the final score, as of right now, I didn't look at how many penalties were called in the first period. That's the other thing you got to look at.
Nashville just had a power play, didn't score.
Okay, so 2 penalties, 1 penalty. Yeah, no. At this point, I would say maybe look at the second period as being the highest scoring period. There might be a goal scored.
Already halfway in. We're already halfway in,
right?
So no score. So I don't know. We got half the period left, and we haven't seen any
refresh. Yeah, wow. Yeah,
shots are down,
and I said it about the Boston-Toronto game. It would be fitting. You talked about ghosts being exercised. It'll be fitting that game goes to overtime tomorrow. Whoa. It'll be fitting. Whoa. That's the way it's going to happen. Boston's going to lose in a game 7 in overtime at home to Toronto after having a 3-1 lead back-to-back years, or Toronto is going to lose in overtime to Boston after winning on the road in Game 5 and winning on the road in Game 6 with a backup goalie that looks like, what demons is he exercising? They threw this guy in, and he's been a lifesaver. He's been great, and it's caused the team without their best player, the guy who scored 69 goals during the season. Oh, he's out. He ain't playing Game 5 and 6. We're playing our best defensive hockey of the series. Nothing makes sense. It's only fitting that one goes to overtime, although this one is headed that way.
The Bruins aren't winning an overtime game. Like, I can't remember. They lost Game 7 in overtime last year, right, to Florida? Right? That was an overtime, right? This team's not built that way. This team is a front-running team that wins games 4-1. Like, bet the under for Toronto for goals, okay? 2.5. They have not scored more than 2 goals on Jeremy Swayman in 2 years. They're not scoring 2 goals on Jeremy Swayman tomorrow. So the Bruins score 3, the game's over. Like, it's a race to 3. Whoever gets there first, that's who's winning this game. So the Bruins have got to get out and get the crowd into it. They got to get a couple of goals. They go up 2-0. I think it's over. They go up 3-1. I think it's over. I don't think Toronto is going to be able to score more than 2 goals tomorrow. But the problem for Boston, and this is why I think Jim Montgomery calling out Pasternak is sort of a big sign, a white flag, a red flag, whatever you want to call it, reaction by the head coach, is because their offense is non-existent. They just haven't been moving the puck. They haven't been getting a lot of power plays, and their power play in this series has been lethal. You want to know why they won the first couple of games? They were at 50% for their power play. They were 6 for 12 at one point against Toronto. Well, the referees aren't calling, but they're not calling penalties.
Nope.
Later you go in the series, the less penalties, less power plays you're going to get. You got to score 5-on-5. And right now, 5-on-5, Toronto is way better than Boston 5-on-5. So that's a huge worry. If you're a Bruins fan, it's a huge worry. You need Marchand to get them off their game, to get them taking dumb penalties, to get that power play back onto the ice, because it was, as you texted me, after Game 3, magic. Their power play was magic, and it's been completely snuffed out.
The best way to kill penalties, don't get them. Stay out of the box. It's that simple. And
I think also Keith. Yeah, and I think also the crying and whining by Toronto has helped to get penalties called on Marchand.
You didn't have to go there. You didn't.
It's the truth. I mean, they whine and cried in the media after Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. Kept on whining. What happened? Marchand's gotten 3 penalties in 2 games. Been in the box 3 times in 2 games. Congratulations. Politicking worked. More to come. In-game live on a Friday.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're going to make this all about teams. We're going to have home games, and that's going to be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
No score, Vancouver and Nashville. That game 6 has to be won by Nashville or the series is over. InGame Live on a Friday night. Matt Perrault and Dave Sharapan with you guys. We'll talk to Smiley Kaufman a little bit about the Byron Nelson coming up in the next segment. So stick around for some golf conversations. We got the Derby tomorrow. Dave, have you decided yet as to what you're doing, who you're playing? Is it going to be a fierceness play? Are you feeling more about some of the favorites? Are we going long shot like Rich Strike 2 years ago, firing off on an 80-1 long shot?
I have my notes right here. I have this piece of paper. Everyone we've talked to all week. I have all these other little side notes written. The creation will happen tomorrow morning, and we'll head out to the book. Maybe if we have a producer, we'll shoot the whole thing. Maybe not. I don't know. Try to decide what hat I'm going to wear, all kind of stuff. Big day tomorrow.
So can we talk just real quick about pari-mutuel versus not pari-mutuel and why you have to find out whether or not your book is buying into pari-mutuel or not?
You better, because this could be
it's really important.
Right thing. It's very important because if they cap the payout, if they're not pari-mutuel, they will cap the payouts. So very important question as you go wherever it is you're going. Ask if it's pari-mutuel wagering or it's the book wagering. Because if it's the book wagering, maybe find, if you're doing exotics, a different place to play. Now, book wagering will be head-to-head. There'll be head-to-head matchups. There's best finish of a group of horses, just kind of like, we'll talk to Smiley about best finishing groups. You group together 4 golfers, which one will finish out of that group? They do that with the race too, different prices. But if you're in the pari-mutuel poll, Perrault, and you think you're going to collect X, you may be only collecting X by a third. You're going to be mad, angry, and upset because it's hard enough to hit the Derby. Make sure you're in the pari-mutuel pool.
This is something that I've learned over the years, the same way I learned it with dead heat rules, because, well, when you walk into the book with a ticket, and I had this happen a couple of years ago, you walk in and you go to hand the ticket and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get X back. And they hand you back a fourth of what you thought you were going to get back. In fact, in this year, that year I found out, I thought I was going to pick up money that I won. They handed me money, handed me less back than I had bet. I lost money and I won, and I was furious. I think I had bet like $150 and they handed me back $120, and I was like, that ticket won. They're like, no, like, sorry, they did the math on it and it was capped, and it was just, I was like, wait a minute, it's not pari-mutuel odds. He goes like, no, we have our own odds. We book it ourselves. I remember calling you, going like, explain this to me right now. How did this happen? And you're like, you didn't bet it at a pari-mutuel book.
And
I was
furious. I knew someone that worked at the book, and I said to them, now, do you have a sign on the counter, or do you have the people tell them? And they're like, well, no. And I said,
no.
Oh, you really put your people out in the front line in a bad position, because they have to answer this question. I've been that person. I was that person for years, and I would have asked. I never worked at a book that wasn't pari-mutuel. So I would have said, hey, you better put this on the billboard out front. You better put this on the counter in front of every window. Let these people know that the payouts are capped. It has to be put somewhere. And finding out
the odds are different
is way worse than finding out.
Yeah, the odds are different. It's not just capped. The odds are different. Like they're running their own. The event is being booked differently. It's not being booked like when you look on the screen and you see what the payout should be, the exacta payout and the trifecta payout. That's not what you're getting. You're getting something totally different. It's not the payout. So that was a huge lesson. Just like dead heat rules, I had to learn what those were when I bet into it. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to get this. And I got a lot less. And I'm like, what is that? And we were having that conversation with you like 5 years ago. It's like, what the heck are dead heat rules? You're like, this is a new thing here. This is not normal. We don't normally do dead heat rules, but yes, dead heat rules. You got to be careful. When you tie for top 10, you're going to get an adjusted payout. It's not 5-1, 6-1 like you bet. Unfortunately, it's more like 1.5-1, or sometimes it's less. You might lose money on that situation with the dead heat rule. So you got to ask that question when it comes to pari-mutuel. Do you think tomorrow, because the track got soaked today, it's going to be overcast? It's not going to be sunny, not going to be rainy. It's going to be overcast. So the track could be a little bit sloppy. We saw what Torpedo Anna did today. They thought, okay, she's not going to like getting mud kicked in her face. Right to the front, wire to wire. She ran an unbelievable race. Nobody came close. She ran away from the field down the back stretch. Do we see the fast pace like everybody thinks we're going to see because of horses potentially being, or jockeys being afraid of their horses not dealing with mud in their face well?
We had such a great week of interviews on Bostonian versus the book with like horse guys between, Dubsy, who used to be on here, and Todd Schrupp from FanDuel TV, and, Randy Moss, who's actually going to be there on the track tomorrow, who we may shoot a message and ask him about the track specifically. And Mark Malusis was on with us today. You want to talk about a horse conversation. I mean, those were really horse guys. They talked about it doesn't have to be rainy. Do you remember? I believe it was Randy, and it might have been Todd, said if there's moisture, which it sounds like the overcast is going to, you remember, it doesn't happen that much out in Vegas because it's sunny 325 days here. But you remember back in Boston and all the other 6 places that you lived, especially down south, after rain, when it's overcast, it's moist, it's sticky,
humid.
That's going to be that composition of that track. So I think,
remember, they changed. That was Randy Moss telling us that they changed the composition of the track for horse safety after last year, and there's more clay on the track this year than there was in any other previous year. Clay will hold the moisture longer than other types of synthetic turfs.
Yeah. See, that's like class. Did you listen in class, like when you were in high school and college? Like, I like to listen.
College,
in class.
I did. I did not in high school. In college, I did. Yes.
You didn't listen in class in high school?
No, I wasn't there very much, so it's hard to listen when you're not there.
Kids, don't do what Perrault did in high school, please. Don't listen to this right now.
I don't know. The job worked out well, so you don't really need high school to do this job. So I don't know. Go to college, do what you want to do, get your degree, and come on out and do this job. Just sit and talk for a living. It's not that hard.
Well, I think you make it look easy. It's harder than it looks. Come on.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. Commodities and such, but I wonder where we go in terms of like the big picture here for this race, and how because I think people are getting jacked up for this race. I think they're getting excited. They're starting to look at themselves going, all right, let's go forward. That's an inside joke on BBB, by the way. That's why Dave's laughing. There's an opportunity. I think there's a lot of things happening for this race. I don't know if we're going to see chalk come in. I think a long shot might win this race.
Now
I think we could see
talking.
I think a long shot might win
That's
this
what
race.
I'm
I really
saying.
do. After
That's
watching
what
what
I'm
happened
saying.
today, and the favorite got smoked in the Oaks.
Smoked.
She was way back. So
This is-
Sierra Leone, fierceness, like I would be careful about how heavy you go with those horses.
That's what
I'm not sure
saying.
I'd be.
I've been saying it
I
all
think
week.
It feels
They
like
have
it
to-
could be a 20-1, 30-1 type of, I don't know if you go 80-1 like when Rich Strike type top, but
That's okay. If you, with the amount of money in this pool and the openness of the race and the, like Randy said it really well, the big event nature of what this community is, the wagering community, you build up to the big events. I think there's going to be massive handle. I think there's going to be massive interest. All we need is one of them in the top. And if one of them come in second, the exponential multi-use of payout, like calculator thing, we could be going to Cancun.
Woo! 1, 2, 3,
Just
Cancun.
like the Clippers tonight.
Smiley Kaufman joins us next on the Byron Nelson Friday night. Don't move.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
On a Friday night, Matt Perrault and Dave Sharapan. Let's talk some golf. Smiley Kaufman joining us here on InGame Live. Byron Nelson teeing off, and we have a chance to get into the weekend. Smiley, how are you? This is an interesting field here for the Byron Nelson. This is one of those fields where you got to really dig for some diamonds. What do you like here in this one? This is an interesting field, right? This is different.
Yeah, that's kind of been the theme this year, Matt and Dave. Thanks for having me on. These signature events and the majors have taken all the star power. And so fields like this, it's been, a little tricky too, because the golf course as well, it's not very hard at all. So you kind of have to find the right player who just happens to get hot and everything just happens to go his way that week. I started the week with Mackenzie Hughes. He shot even par in the first round. So in a shootout week, I was a little concerned, but he shot 7 under in round 2. So maybe my one and done pick will have a chance. But, there's the field, the way the leaderboard looks right now. Jake Knapp is at 14 under par right now, top of the leaderboard. He's a young player who just came off the Korn Ferry Tour, won in Mexico this year. He hits it so far. If you haven't seen his golf swing, it looks like Freddie Couples as far as the rhythm, but he has 190 mile an hour ball speed in which the way he does it.
My.
So it's a great course fit for Jake Knapp here this week at the Byron Nelson. So don't be surprised if he happens to go wire to wire. But there's some other guys down the board I like as well.
When I look at it, the fun of golf betting sometimes is waiting until the cut, waiting until Friday and see what you see, right? So I look at the odds, and now you come on here and I go, all right, Knapp's plus 360, Wallace 60, and then Mitchell, Merritt, Noren, Pendrift. These are all names that, like, unless you're a golf guy, you're like, where's everybody at? I don't know where anybody's at. But the odds makers are telling you, hey, it's either this guy, it could be one of 8 guys behind him. That the way, am I reading it right? Like it's either Knapp or I don't know who it could be.
It's I don't think the odds makers know as well. I when I look at this, I like to go and look at the stats and look at the data behind the first 2 rounds. I don't really want to take a guy who's hit it okay and just had 2 hot rounds with the putter, because you just can't keep that up over 4 rounds. So what I looked at was who was hitting it the best and with their iron game this week. And Kelly Craft is a guy who is 2 shots back, hasn't won in a long time. He's from the Dallas area, so he's a player that's ironing it really well. Keith Mitchell's probably the best on the board of the guys you just mentioned, of probably the most star power, probably the most talent of that group. Jake Knapp being obviously the favorite, but going a little further down the board, I'm not sure exactly where Aaron Rye sits, but I really like him over the weekend. I think he's a player that
25 to 1, Smiley, 25 to 1, sir.
Yeah, he's been he's been a fantastic iron player week in and week out, and he's played well here as well. So I like Aaron Rye over the weekend. If you're just looking for a flyer, to me, I don't see why you would take a favorite on the board right now. I think you got to look down the board in a week like this, because so many of these guys are just unproven. I think it's just going to be a bit of a crapshoot on who gets hot.
Smiley, you mentioned the course. The low round in round 1 was a 63. Low round today was a 62. Is there a 59 out there on the weekend? Can someone go and just blister this course?
Yes, I mean, it's crazy. I think last year we checked it out. If you shot 10 under last year at this tournament, you were T62 or something like that. So it's just, you just got to go up and show up and make 7 birdies, and probably need to throw an eagle in there as well. But yeah, I mean, 59 is really low. Obviously, I think it's a par 72. So 13 under would be quite a challenge, but let's not rule it out. These guys are good for a reason, and it is long. So that is the one defense of the course, is that it is you got to drive it far. But that's why I kind of like a good iron player. A guy that's giving themselves the closest opportunities to make 8 to 10 footers. I kind of like those guys over the weekend.
What's the winning score? Like minus 25, minus 28? Is it? Do we dare say nobody's putting up minus 30? That's not happening, right?
No, I would look at this and say I'd feel pretty comfortable saying 24 under, right around there. I feel like that's around the spot. I think 24 wins, 22 is probably sitting maybe a shot or 2 back. I just have a hard time believing these guys aren't going to shoot. The winner's got to shoot at least 65, 65, it feels like, over the weekend.
It's really interesting because, look, in Texas, the ball can run, right? So you like iron players. Is there any other stat that you look at that could be indicative? I mean, is it like, greens in regulation? Are you looking at driving distance? Like, because it's a long course, like you mentioned, but it's Texas, so the ground's hard. The ball runs.
Yeah, no, it does a little bit. I would honestly, to me, it's iron play and putting. And so you look at the guys who've at least had some positive statistical stuff over the first couple days on the greens to show that, okay, they feel comfortable with their putting, but the iron game and the ability to hit it far out there, it's honestly, Matt, it's probably one of the worst golf courses that they play on tour as far as just testing the best players in the world. That's just my personal opinion. I just think there's plenty of other golf courses that are really are a lot more penal than this one. So you really do need to just show up ready to not make any bogeys and make 7, 8 birdies. And that's just kind of the way this golf course is. It's just a shootout.
30 seconds, I think you'll say it in your ear, but have you looked at anybody beating Scheffler yet in the next major? I mean, what is the guy's unbelievable. I started to look ahead and go, is he going to win that one?
I think Wyndham Clark I just feel like he's going to win another major this year. And whether it's him there, I like it's a great course fit for him. And Valhalla hits it far. But you watch out. If Rory McIlroy wins Wells Fargo next week, he's going to be a popular pick for a guy that's already won a PGA championship at Valhalla.
How about that? I mean, he's feeling it. He's doing karaoke songs and drinking and having a good old time. So why not? Let's go with Rory in for another major. Smiley, good stuff, man. Thank you for the time. We appreciate it. Good to catch up with you. We'll look at the hockey game, second intermission, next here on a Friday.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
InGame Live on a Friday night. Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault. How are you guys? Thank you for hanging out. We're looking at the games in action right now. No score, second intermission. Nashville trying to stay alive against the Predators. Dave, I mean, what are we looking at? 1-0 here. First goal wins. We're down to 2.5. 2.5 is the in-game for that hockey game right now as we head to the third period.
This is what happened with Joe and I last night. We're watching Bruins Maple Leafs saying the same thing. I think the 3.5's good. The 2.5 is going to take a goal with less than a second left, like it did last night, to blow to 2.5, because that was 2-0 final, and then it wasn't, and 2-1 was it officially scored the final. I think I dare I say first goal wins. That's not brain surgery.
Feels like it, right?
It's one period left. Whoever scores next, whoever scores first, probably winning the game. So it's going to be. Listen, I was watching some baseball. I told you guys on the break. I was trying to root the Pirates home tonight. They haven't scored since Tuesday. I flew up and watched them play in Oakland on Wednesday. You told me I flew 1,000 miles up and back, total round trip. They didn't score a run.
Watch your team get blanked.
Yeah, so it's been 72 hours since the Pirates have scored. They're losing 3-0 to the Rockies right now. I was looking at the Yankee game, and then you guys got me now. I'm locked in on the hockey. So should we put a play in to go to overtime? Like, that's
1-1. I can see it.
Right? Yeah.
See, the thing that's crazy about the way that this series has gone. So when it was it 2-0 or was it 3-1? Yeah, it was 3-1 in Nashville. And Vancouver scored 2 goals in the final 2 minutes and then scored in the first minute of overtime to win the game 4-3. Yeah. So, like, we've seen, but we've also have seen Vancouver leading 1-0 until late in the game, and Nashville scoring 2 goals in the third period to win the game 2-1. Yep. So this has been a very streaky series where it might be 1-0 wins the game, but it could be 2-1 for the other team, who just all of a sudden gets hot right at the right time and they steal the game. So this has been a very back and forth series. I picked Nashville tonight. So I'm on a 3-leg money line parlay with Nashville, the A's, and what was the third leg of that parlay?
Dallas Mavericks.
Thank you. Dallas Mavericks, late game in basketball. Yeah. Thank you very much. So I'm on that parlay. So I need, obviously, Nashville to win this game to stay alive. I think that they will, but the further this goes 0-0, the more worried I'm getting, because if Vancouver scores first, yikes, this could be all she wrote.
The fact that you have a parlay with 3 teams and one of them involves the Oakland A's, like you could have given me the whole board. Most people watching the show, although they probably already watched us today or listened to your podcast, the Daily Juice, might have known that you were on the A's. Not many people are on the A's. Like that game between the Pirates and the Rockies and the A's and the Marlins. You're talking the 2 lowest handle games, weekend series combined. Like,
yeah, but it's JP Sears. Those games. I know, but it's the A's with JP Sears against the Marlins. Like, come on. Like, the Marlins are awful on the road. Like, they are horrific on the road. They're 4-9 on the road. They have 9 wins on the season. They're 9-24. So the A's are 15-17. You just saw the A's blank your team. The A's are hot. The A's have been playing well. So, I mean, I don't think it's a crazy play at all to jump on these. They're up to minus 150.
It's the right side of the game. They're 100% the right side. With their closer, and I don't like all the time
reliever of the month,
the run line at home. This might be a time to take a shot on the A's, because if they get a lead, ain't nobody scoring. In the ninth, he comes in. It's good morning, good afternoon, good night. I literally watched him from the first row behind home plate warm up. I was peeking at him in the bullpen. He came out, watched him warm up, sat the Pirates down 1-2-3. 102 was the highest he hit on the gun.
Oh my gosh.
Threw his slider 88 on the paint. Like, it's not even fair.
Unhittable. Kid's really good. 74-71. It is a 3-point game. Cleveland trying to close out their series against Orlando. I'm on the under. It's 2.5. Yeah, how'd that work out for the Heat? Be real careful. Be real careful when you do that. Enjoy that. Either one of them. Be real careful about that. Hour 2 is up next. Cam Stewart's coming on next hour. We'll get to more hockey next year on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Hour 2 on a Friday night, in-game live on SportsGrid. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault, thanks for hanging out with us here tonight, watching hockey and watching the NBA playoffs, where the Dallas Mavericks later on tonight will try to end the season for the LA Clippers. They are 8-point favorites. Total of that game is 209.5. Where after 3 quarters, the Orlando Magic trailing by 5, 78-73. 2.5-point in-game dogs for Orlando. If they lose, series over. Boston will start game 1 up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. 200.5, Dave. I'm on under 199. I've been waiting for a spot to bet the over to try to middle this thing. This is going to be a white knuckle ride all the way down to the end. But in a closeout game, don't you feel like the fourth quarter could go slow? We could get ourselves into a tighter, slower finish?
Yeah, you got to keep this thing competitive, right? Or you need a 10-0 run and put it out of distance. And
like Cleveland?
Yes. Get this thing to 15 to 18-point lead with 6 minutes to go. And I think you'll be nicely on pace for the under. But we said it today. This is going to be a white-knuckle ride the whole time. This is going to fall within 4 points either way. The numbers at the end of a series in the NBA are so good. They are really hard. Like you very rarely get like you did in game 5 of Mavericks and Clippers, where it's a blowout and it flies over 30 points. Those blowouts don't happen. By the time it gets to this, you give the odds makers all the numbers, you give them 5 or 6 games of material to put together, and the totals get really airtight. I mean, really, really good. And sides are tough too. But you got a shot. That's all you could ask for right now with that total. I like the over. I thought it was finally an adjustment. Under 200 was a little light. It may fall 201. It may fall 202. Or it might fall 197. Yeah, right?
Like it might fall right there.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
What do you make of the late game? Dallas at home. They annihilated the Clippers in game 5, won by 30. 8-point home favorites here. No Kawhi. And tonight, can they cover 8? If they cover 8, don't they win by like 25? It's a rout.
Yeah, if they cover 8, you could probably ring them up on an alternate spread, like if we were doing alternate universe or something tonight, you could probably lay up to like 13.5, 14.5. They're going to win by 15 or more. That's an option too. You can bet that margin of victory thing. If you like Dallas, they're probably going to cover that. But I'm telling you, I've seen these things so many times over these decades in a book and sitting in a risk room or, at the counter. 80% of the bets or more are probably on Dallas. This will be the game that the Clippers will keep close. I think they got an outside shot to win and send it back. I really do. I think the Clippers cover. If you're asking me, this would be ones. We just sit and take the bets. The line's not moving. That's telling to me. Like there's no panic. There's no like go get some Clippers money. Nah, just keep taking the bets at 8.5. There's not even a 9. I just click refresh. There's nothing. So I don't know. I think Clips keep it close. Could be dead wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 198.5 for Cavaliers and the Mavs, Clippers, and the Mavericks is 209.5 before that game starts here at the end. Nothing still. Nashville and Vancouver. That is just a ridiculous hockey game. We're down to a live number of 1.5, Dave. 1.5. Juice to the over, minus 162. But the books are saying it's first goal wins. That this is a 1-0 final between whoever scores first. And if this goes to overtime and my parlay's riding on an overtime, I'm going to be bent. That's not going to be fun.
That's going to be a last 30 minutes of this show. It's going to be electric enough because Cam Stewart's coming on, and he's a Maple Leafs guy, and you guys have a big wager riding on it. And it's a good thing that nobody picked out home or away. What?
I'm going to give him the option to punt out of it if he wants. I'm going to say you can cancel if you want. It's game 7. Why? He tried to change he's tried to change the parameters 3 times. This is great. I'm going to give him the option. You can get out of the bet right now if you want. You can just have no sweat and just watch the game.
He's not
give him the chance.
Can't
That's
gamble.
Fine.
There's no chance he's getting out of the bet.
He likes to gamble. He tried to change it twice.
He's going to tell you he might double down and go, not only do I want the home jersey, but I want the away jersey too. He might have to get a home and an away, in which case we got a guy for that. Don't worry about it. We got
thank you. I'm all good. No, thank you. We're all good with that. But I do think my team's going to win. Yeah, they're favorite. Even when they weren't favored, I still think the Bruins are at home in a game 7. I've seen it before. I've watched it against Montreal. I've watched it against Toronto. I've watched enough game 7s with the Bruins at home. They lost last year. So that's a horrible, awful thing. But to lose 2 game 7s at home at TD Garden, it's rare for Boston to blow that. They'd be the first team in history ever to do it, actually. No one's ever done it. No one's blown back-to-back 3-1s and lost game 7 at home in the history of the NHL. It's never happened. So it would be historic for the Bruins to lose the game coming up on Saturday.
I almost said, is it just a precursor to playing Florida and losing anyway? But I don't even want to talk about that yet.
But
I want to soak it up.
Both teams are losing to Florida. There's absolutely no debate in my mind. Neither one of those teams has what it takes to beat Florida. No.
Wow. Really?
Bruins or Toronto. They're both going to get smoked in probably 5.
Wow.
In particular, if Austin Matthews is not available for Toronto, bad. Bobrovsky's playing playoff hockey. Bobrovsky's got that team that they're so good. I mean, they're so hungry that is, and they're resting, they're sitting, they're getting healthy, they're waiting. They're just going to walk into a lion's den or a panther den if you want it when you got that with game 1. Like, that's good luck. That team's ferocious right now. They want the cup. They got a chance. They tasted it last year. That's a playoff-tested team that knows what has to be done to win. Both the Bruins and Toronto don't have enough to beat Florida.
What about the other side of the bracket? Carolina and the Rangers. We got guys.
I think Carolina's beating the Rangers.
Ranger fans. Look at this bracket. I mean,
I think it's Carolina against Florida. I mean, I've said that for a while now. The 2 best teams in the East were Carolina and Florida. They're on a collision course against each other. I think Carolina wins. Carolina goes to the Cup. and then we'll see who winds up Carolina playing on the other side. But I'm far more shaky on the other side, in the West, on the West bracket than I am the East bracket. I feel much more confident about Carolina's chances of getting to the Cup Finals. The West is just I have no idea.
Oh, well, I mean, you watch this series long enough. You watch this Vancouver and Nashville. I used to call it soccer on ice, where you get maybe 3 goals in a game. I mean, that's the way they're playing every single game. And when you look at the odds to win it all, to win the Stanley Cup, Edmonton has distanced itself right there. You see it. They are the favorite. And then it's Avalanche. The next choice is a team whose series isn't done yet at 3-2. They just had to win 3 games in a row. Vancouver and Nashville are so low on the list. That's the layup that I think odds makers are going. It don't matter who wins Vancouver, Nashville. They ain't beating Edmonton.
I hope so. I mean, I think that if you're in Canada and you're hoping for a cup, either appearance or win, I think your hopes are riding on Edmonton. I think it's all about Edmonton. So
it's not over yet for Toronto.
And it's not over yet for Vancouver, but in the next 24 hours, it might be for both. So we'll see how it all goes. I mean, it could end it could end soon. So, I mean, it's, we'll see how it goes. More to come. Don't move on our Friday night here on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big-time events.
Like, we're going to make this all about teams. We're going to have home games, and that's going to be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
No score, Vancouver, Nashville. 1.5 is the in-game live total of this. Predators have to win to stay alive. Same thing for the Orlando Magic. They are clinging, trying to get a win here. They're down 82-81 now. 197.5. I'm on under 199. White knuckle ride has officially begun. It is in-game live on SportsGrid. Matt Perrault, Dave Sharapan. How are you? Friday night. Kim Stewart joining us here in a little bit. Stick around coming up for that. We have not talked too much, Dave, baseball. How do you feel when a game gets rain delayed? Because I am on the Orioles money line against the Reds, but this game was delayed quite a bit. Nothing after the first inning, however. But do you ever feel shaky when you make a play and it starts later than expected?
I hate it.
Me too.
It gives me, like, it gives me that, like, you just saying it. I remember sitting in the book going, when is the game starting? When is it?
Mm-hmm.
What do we do? Like, do we put it back up? Is it going to be a while? And then not knowing, are both pitchers going to start? What were they doing? Like, were they just sitting in a clubhouse? How long before did they get back up and warm up? Like, there's just too much variables. I don't like it at all. Never did. I didn't even like it when I was coaching kids. It messed everybody up. So, yeah, like the rain delay is the worst. Is there a better sport, though, that a 0-0 game? I am thoroughly enjoying this Vancouver-Nashville game 0-0. Baseball 0-0 is pretty good.
Boring. It's okay.
Football, the absolute
0-0.
worst 0-0.
Oh, 2-run home run for the Pirates. Look at that. You guys are alive. It was 3-0. Now it's 3-2.
Come on,
Pirates
baby.
get right back into it with one swing there for the Pirates. So that gives them the bottom of the ninth inning. It's a bottom of the ninth, 1 out, 2-run bomb for the Pirates. 3-2. Rockies trying to hang on here in the bottom of the ninth up against who's pitching? Beeks, the closer, I guess. Is there a closer for Colorado? I don't even know. Their bullpen is so bad.
Yeah. Do you remember the movie Trading Places? Where in the hell is Beeks? Where in the hell is Beeks? Beeks was the guy with the crop report. Trading Places, one of the best movies of all time.
Wow.
Watch it.
Best movies of all time? Trading Places?
One of the best movies of all time. There's so many lessons in there. Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd. Oh, it was great. I'm telling you.
What are we doing?
I'm telling you.
It's a classic. I'm not sure I'm putting it in the best of all time category. That's a little bit of a reach. Whoa.
I mean, one of the best movies of all time in my top 20. It's in there.
No, that's fine. Fine. Top 20. That's fine. You're wearing the Brave stuff. It's Morton against Stone.
Yes.
This is a pick 'em or it's slightly Dodgers minus 115. You like in the
two schools of thought, right? You look at the price and you'll get people to come up and go, the Dodgers at home are only minus 110 or minus 115. Fantastic. I'll play them. Or you go, wait a second. The Braves are on the road. It's almost even money. I can get them with Charlie Morton against Stone. I go, yeah, give me that. The Dodgers are only 9-8 at home in home games. Braves are arguably, is this a National League Championship Series preview? Maybe. We'll hear that. I love when these two teams play, especially out west, because everything calms down here at the house usually. But we'll be dialed into this Golden Knights game tonight. I will have this one on. Yes, I wore the Braves stuff because, yes, I like the Braves tonight. I think the game is going over as well. I do. So,
wow.
Give me the better starting pitcher right now.
Okay.
Give me the better bullpen at a nice even money price. Plus, maybe minus 102, 104, depending where you shop. I like the Braves. So what about you?
The total was 9.5 last night, and I was like, wow, that's really high. And I was like, Dodgers at home. And now it's 9. I kind of lean towards the under in that. And I thought 9.5 was a little bit of an elevated, given it was Morton and Stone. I thought that was a little bit of an elevated because Dodgers on the road all over all day. No worries about betting the Dodgers on the road. They are sort of a beer league softball team this year, but Braves can be as well. So do you think if it goes over, the Braves win? Because I feel like if the Dodgers win, it goes under.
Yeah, Braves and over. Now,
okay.
I got Dodgers have won 8 of their last 10 games, outscoring their opponents 63-19 in that span. In that stretch, they have a 1.72 ERA. Hello. If Stone is part of that, you run into a good pitching outing, the game could go under. I don't think it does. I think the Braves score too. So, yes, Braves and over.
Okay. Like it. I do. The Miami-Oakland number is creeping up. It's over 152 now for Oakland, and I like Oakland there, but it's part of a parlay, so I need the Nashville Predators to score here, and Vancouver is buzzing. No score, but they are flying around here trying to get the one goal. We are into we have 11 minutes to go. That's crazy.
Yep.
11 minutes to play, maybe in the season for the Nashville Predators, and they cannot get a goal here. They cannot score. This is like back when Vancouver was playing in December, when they were playing 1-0 and 2-1 games, consistently having their games go under. But most of that was at home for them, not on the road as much. Nashville, you can't blow this. I mean, you gotta get a goal here.
Saros has been great. I mean,
he has.
He's seeing the puck. There's minimal rebounds. I don't know. The longer this goes to no scoring, I'm thinking, Nashville gets it done and we get a game 7. I want to see game 7s. In the book, we don't always have to root for what we needed. We just needed more because as the season goes on, we're getting closer to, which I don't mind, all baseball. We have nothing but baseball. I know some people, don't like just all baseball. And we'll start talking about some golf or some, preseason futures, NFL, college, all that other stuff. But give us more meaningful games in the book, more handle. Good for everybody.
Can we get a live number of a half a goal? Is that possible? Nothing.
Maybe.
More to come.
Maybe.
In-game live here on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
$191.5. I'm on under 199. Dave, when do I fire on the over? Cleveland, Orlando, 84-84 with 5:31 to play.
You have about a minute and a half to decide. You have about a minute and a half to decide. A lot of books turn it off at the 4-minute timeout. So you got to decide.
Because OT kills me. OT, and I'm dead.
Well, that's why it probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to go for the middle in case you get overtime. The way this is going, it might happen. So I don't know, 188, 188 and a half. You get the 189 and the 190 numbers, but you get a nice 10-point middle.
I'd bet it if it wasn't minus one. It's minus 130 right now. If I get lesser juice on it, I'll bet. If I get, it's expensive right now to bet the over. Oh, there it is, 192 and a half, but it's 106. That's not bad. So that gives me what, a 6.5 point middle on that. Oh, it's ping ponging around. Wow, it went from minus 106 to minus 120. It's ping ponging around. Books are seeing some people play it.
I think if you see that happen, a lot of times what I would do when I was doing that would be to leave it around the number and move the juice while the time ticked off the clock. So I didn't give too much of a middle to guys that may have had an original position. So that's the book, playing a little defense and kind of going, this thing is really going to settle around 191, 192, 193. Oh, my goodness. A 2-on-1 turned into a semi-breakaway for Vancouver. And Saros just almost did a split to keep it tied 0-0. What's the juice on the hockey game total under right now? Minus what? Let me guess. 350?
330.
It's like we've done this before once or twice. I mean, this is great. That's fun. When you kind of
330.
know what the number 30.
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Welcome.
Plus 240.
Bit of juice.
If you want the over, it's plus 240.
No. Do you want that? There's one goal being scored right now. That's it.
Yeah.
There ain't no more power plays. You ain't got to worry about that. No more power plays.
I just jumped in at 192 and a half over here at minus 110. So I took that, just trying to middle it, because I feel like this game is going to go to overtime. This is going to, I'm very much afraid of this game going to overtime right now with the way that it's going.
Basketball.
It just has
the basketball
game. Yeah, it feels very much. I mean, hockey too. Hockey feels like it's going to, I think both these games could wind up going to overtime, 0-0. And I mean, people in Nashville are sitting on their hands. They are petrified at the moment. They don't know what to do. Their season's on the line. It's 0-0. Next goal wins. They know this. 100% next goal wins on this. So I'm on over 192 and a half, and I'm on under 199. So we'll see where that game falls. Hopefully we see a very slow final 5 minutes here. It's 86-85 with 4:52 to play.
That's a nice window. Now, that's one window on the building. Now, you could get another window if we get a lull here, and you could go under or over a better number. So just stay ready, because I got the hockey. I don't think there are any more scoring in the hockey. I don't think anybody's scoring. I think this feels like it's going to overtime, unless there's a fluke, something, whatever. Just keep your eye on the basketball. You may get another opportunity to create another window. Windows are fun. It's fun to do that.
It's up to 195 and a half right now. It's all the way up to 195 and a half. So we got three points of value already right there with that over 192 and a half. But it's going to come down to like literally one possession. It's going to be a shot at the buzzer for the first for 99. So see if we can wind up getting ourselves into that. But we're jacking shots like crazy. That was a 2-point bucket that just went in a lead now, 89-89. Now we're tied. 89-89, back up to 197 and a half for this with 4 minutes to play between Cleveland and the Orlando Magic. If the Magic win, we have a game 7. Cleveland wins, series ends. This is, what a fun game, because remember, Orlando killed Cleveland in game 3 and 4, killed them at home. This is a whole different story, different type of game, different level of intensity. And a 3-point bucket for the Orlando Magic, 92-89. Oh, my goodness gracious. Here we go. Final half hour for us. We're going to walk you through 2 very good games in the NHL and NBA playoffs. Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault, don't go anywhere. We got a lot to come, including Cam Stewart coming up here in about 15 minutes for Toronto and Boston. Game 7 tomorrow. TD Garden, the Ghosts. Which ones haunt the teams, the Maple Leafs and the Bruins? More to come. Don't move here on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're going to make this all about teams. We're going to have home games, and you know, that's going to be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Electric. Orlando, Cleveland. This game's electric. It's a 5-point lead for the Magic. 96-91, 197.5 the live total. I'm on the under 199 and the over 192.5. Trying to pull a middle. I already hit the Oaks today, Dave. Let's go with the middle. Why not? Well, let's just have one of these nights where you start hitting every bet we're putting on the board. This will be good.
I love these when days like this happen. You know, when I was in the book and out front and talked to customers, and another one of the best gambling movies of all time, Let It Ride, Trotter was going around asking people what horses they liked and stuff. And when he was winning, he said, "I'm having a very good day." And you could be having a very good day if this lands in that 7.5 point middle, or what do you got? 199 and 192.5. So that's
I really need Nashville to win this game, though. I really need Nashville to win this game, like just to keep because the parlay hitting would be great. It's a 3-1 parlay, so it'd be fun to see Nashville. I think the A's will win. The Mavs, I think they'll win. Nashville was always my fear. This was always the game that I was worried about with 3-leg money line parlay. I thought basketball and baseball were going to be good. Hockey was my worry, and it's 0-0. And oh yeah, by the way, if you want to play the over, the over 1.5 goals, it's -500, and they locked it. Okay, so now it's just go away. No more. You can't even play the over 1.5 anymore because it's going to be 1 goal, maybe an open net if you get lucky with it. But man alive, this is pressure on Nashville right now to try to save their season. 0-0. We got 4 minutes to go here in the third period in Nashville, and the Preds have got to score. My goodness. Right now, who would you take to win this game? Because it's Preds -125.
It's Preds or nothing. I think between Edmonton, everybody that has Edmonton to win the Cup or to win the Western Conference is rooting for Nashville. Extend this series. Now, I don't know if other parts of Canada are rooting for them to get Vancouver in, because that would guarantee a Canadian team is in the Western Conference Finals. But we got a big hockey game here tonight. I mean, we got a monster game here in Las Vegas tonight. And I just got a text from the doctor asking if you and I were going to the game tonight. So I don't know what your plans are, but I haven't got confirmation yet. I think this is, you want to talk about electric game?
Oh.
A very similar game in this game that we're getting in Vancouver, Nashville.
So you like the under?
We get a yeah. Although I don't know who's playing goal.
It's
I don't know.
Ottinger for Dallas is in. Dallas has Ottinger. Yeah. That's confirmed.
Yep.
I've not seen Vegas yet as to who Vegas is putting in net. My guess would be it's going to be Logan Thompson, but
I just checked one site. I have Aiden Hill confirmed.
Oh no, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. It is Aiden Hill. I saw that. I'm sorry. It is Aiden Hill confirmed.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Aiden Hill. That's crazy. I would play Logan Thompson, but okay. I mean, trying to catch lightning in a bottle 2 years in a row, trying to ride it. You got to win both games. But Vegas needs to score first, much like Boston needs to score first tomorrow. When you're at home and you got a big, nervous fan base, Nashville, same thing. You got to score first to keep the crowd into it. For Nashville, they score. Wow. It's really wild how Nashville's become like this like celebrity sports town. Much like Vegas.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. They're very similar towns. See, they're showing all the celebrities in the crowd.
They come out for the playoffs, right? Like this is, we used
to live there.
To laugh
in Nashville. They all live there.
Yeah, but they only come to the playoff games. They're all They're all front runners. A lot,
98-93. Orlando up 5. 56 seconds to go. That is a 191 current number. So I need a bucket to go over 192.5. And then I need them to stop and go under 199. It's going to come right down to what we thought.
Yeah, you literally may lose that. Yeah. No, you're going to win the over. The over was a really good bet. You got it at the right number. It never really got below 190.
What a rebound by Orlando. Orlando just got a huge offensive rebound. Huge offensive rebound. And a foul, and they got free throws coming with 27 seconds to go. 98-93, and we got free throws coming. So I think we're good on overtime. I don't think we're getting overtime. Now it's about garbage buckets for Cleveland. It's going to be if Cleveland's going to wind up shooting a bunch of junk here, and we're going to wind up getting ourselves into a situation where Cleveland jacking threes could put us into a really tough spot, and then we wind up losing on this under 199. But we'll see what the free throws come in here, and one gets hit, both got hit. All right, so it's 193 with 27 seconds to go. The over 192.5, that's good. So I hit the first bet. Now we got to worry. We got 6 points to play with here in the next 27 seconds, which in an NBA game is like an eternity. 27 seconds is, way too long, but we'll see how quickly Cleveland goes and jacks. And now they hit a three. Okay. 100-196 with 20 seconds to go. That was the worry because Cleveland was going to go up and jack a three and then call timeout, which they did. So my gut tells me you're going to get a foul and Orlando's going to have a chance to go and take, and then there's a foul call. Okay, so now we got 17.7 seconds to go and free throws coming for the Orlando Magic. 17 seconds to go on that. So it's going to be tight, Dave. I hit the over, but the under is going to be 100-96 and free throws coming. I'm going to need missed free throws by the Magic.
Yeah. That's fun, isn't it? Betting on basketball, sweats at the end of the game with the foul shots, and that's fun.
It was 3.5. I mean,
yeah. Well, again, he's so excited that he froze. This is one of those things. As people come in to this, we're gonna get this worked out at some point back at headquarters. But I'm sure Cam just joined behind the scenes. Cam Stewart's coming up. We got a game 7. I'm getting texts right now, Perrault, from people that listen to us and watch us on other shows, our BVB, going, he hit the Oaks. What is his derby picks? Like people are texting, DMing. We're going to have to close the show today with some derby numbers. Tell him.
All right. I'm good. 101-96 with 17 seconds to go. I'm going to need a missed three and missed free throws. Coming right down to it. But my plan was always to try to middle it, though. That was always my plan. Even I said it on the juice last night. I said, look, this is going to come down to one possession. I want to middle it, see if we can hit them both, and I'll get out of it without really any damage. So I'm not, this is what was my plan from the get-go, was to try to get a lower number than 199. I got 192.5 on the over that came in. On the under is the problem. We have no score in hockey still. It's 0-0. We are into the final 2 minutes in Nashville. 0-0 between these two teams. Preds, I mean, it's going to be, can you lose an overtime 1-0 game to end your season? That's going to hurt.
It's going to leave a mark.
Vancouver is favored now. It's flipped. Minus 122 for the Canucks are now the favorite to win this game.
I mean, that's just somebody messing around with the juice. Like, you leave it with the home team, I think, but I don't know. Maybe is there a penalty, face off in the zone? It just
flipped to 120 on Nashville. It just flipped.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
How about that?
Whoever did that messed up.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. And now it's locked and now it's gone.
Uh-oh.
So
what does that mean?
Well, it means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Oh my gosh. No. Goal Vancouver. Wow. That's incredible. Scores in the last 2 minutes of game 6 at Nashville. And that's going to do it. Oh my gosh, that's got a sting. How about that? More to come. Cam Stewart next here on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York team has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and you know, that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
InGame Live on a Friday night. It's just been one of those days. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault hit the Oaks. We get the over InGame 192.5, and we push 199. Last second shot for Cleveland. Back iron, no good. We fall 1-0-1 on the basketball game. Unfortunately, the parlay is going to die unless we get a miracle for Nashville here to guide this game up at 1. It's a miracle.
Siding the basketball game, that's an industry term. You sided the play. You win and you don't lose. The only thing better than that is the middle. and that's okay.
We'll take it.
You're going to have to sweat this last minute out. Nashville almost scored there. Vancouver just shipped the puck, and icing call, face off in the zone. So we'll talk hockey. Should I ring a bell? Like, should I ring a bell right now? Like,
no,
ding,
there's,
ding.
There's no fight.
Like, are we
Cam
getting
Stewart,
in the
bring
ring right now?
No,
are we lining up?
It's nice and cool. Everything's cool, Dave. Nice and easy. No fighting. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, Dave. Talk to me Saturday night.
The ghosts will do what the ghost needs to do.
Oh,
that's all.
You got some ghosts in your building too, buddy. Yeah. Don't tell me about ghosts and closing out. I know we got more, but you got lots too. It's a haunted house. We just got more ghosts in ours, but you got
in 1993. In 1993, Cam, where were you? In 1993.
Oh, I don't. What versus the Kings? Well, my buddy almost jumped off a roof. Oh, Red Wings. Oh, those were happy times. Yeah, Boris.
That's the last time the Toronto Maple Leafs won a Game 7. It was in 1993 against the Detroit Red Wings.
Aware. I remember exactly where it was. My buddy's loser town over there, going wild. Yeah.
If we're going, I was a sophomore in high school, so just to give you an idea as to where I was. Yeah. So
we partied hard that night. Those were the. Hey, when are you going to get memories is good? No, it's Borishevsky scored that game. Borishevsky scored the winning goal for the Leafs.
Who was the goal?
Can you believe that?
Who was the goal
back then?
Curtis Joseph?
Yes.
Cujo?
Wow, Curtis Joseph. Yeah. My gosh. Yeah. Wow.
And then it was Felix the Cat Potvin in 93, where we lost to the Kings, and the Kings lost to Montreal. Remember, people, the Leafs were in the West. Yes. We played Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit, the old Norris division, as Chris Berman used to say. That's what we used to. Oh. We had epic playoff series against the Blues. Like that was actually our rival back then. Like we had like a game like tonight, 1-0, where Gilmore did the double wraparound goal. That was amazing. Yeah, it's great memories. Not many, but a few good ones.
If the Bruins lose tomorrow, they become the first team in the history of the NHL to lose back-to-back Game 7s when they're up 3-1 in a series. So the history, it's possible, but his history would tell you that Boston wins tomorrow.
I don't care about history. All I know
is we're alive. About history.
We're alive. And this thing wasn't dead. It could have been gone. Oh my God, this Vancouver goalie Shelov's like, what a decision! Like this guy's amazing. Like you see the saves these guys making. God, that was unbelievable. The guy's a third stringer with a shutout on the road. This is the thing about hockey. These stories. Great storylines with the goalies, like Vegas. They went on their run.
Can Vancouver beat Edmonton?
Yes, they can. They can. Nashville's a lot better than people think. Vancouver's a weird team. They need to shoot the puck more. They have, out of all the teams in the playoffs, they're least in shots, but they're getting great goaltending, and they don't make too many defensive mistakes. Edmonton, on the other hand, you can beat them on the counterattack. That's something Vancouver matches up very. You know what? Styles make fights, right, Matt? You box.
Yep.
And Vancouver versus Edmonton, it's a bad stylistic matchup for Edmonton, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Edmonton wants to run and gun and stuff. Vancouver will play a cooler game. And right now, Demko is out, but the Shelovs has already proven that he's ready for the big time. This guy's not afraid of anything. He's very calm. He cracks jokes in the room, and goalies are just a different breed, man. They're not. This was an amazing performance tonight. It's absolutely fantastic. Getting a road shutout, and I feel bad for Saros. He played his ass off too. Like that was some great goaltending tonight. But I think Vancouver can hang with Edmonton, Dave. I know Edmonton's hot right now, but we've seen the ups and downs of Stu Skinner too, and Edmonton's defense. I know they got McDavid. I know they got Hyman. They got a better offense, but Vancouver's a pretty complete team. Like, I don't think it's going to be easy for Edmonton. I think it's going to go 7.
Man, Rick Tocchet, what a job he's done with Vancouver this year. Canada will have a team in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, they'll have this team playing for the chance to go to the Cup, which is gigantic for them. And we'll see who they're going to play on the other side. Who do you like tonight? Dallas, Vegas, Game 6 here tonight. Vegas is starting Aiden Hill after he lost Game 5. They got him in net here at home in Game 6.
I'm taking Dallas again. I have them in the series. Maybe it's greedy. I just like the way they're playing. I feel Vegas, they're slowing down a little bit. Would I be surprised if Vegas won? No, because they got a lot of professionals on the team. But I just like the way the Stars are playing. Ottinger's now figured out the third periods, which is very important for Dallas. So I like Dallas. I think they're going to win 4-2. Just go over the number. 3-2 with an empty netter. Sounds about right for me. this game we had the under. I was on the wrong side. I can't lie. I actually had this series going to 7. I had both teams winning in 7 games. So I was praying that Nashville would win, and I could just sit back and count my money in the final game. But hey, good on Vancouver. They played great. I thought the series would go the distance. Tomorrow, obviously, yeah, I'm taking the Boston Bruins. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. I'm going down with the ship, with the good old Leaf. Right, Dave?
Oh,
anyway, our bet's alive.
I'm betting Toronto too. Don't get me wrong. I'll bet Toronto too tomorrow. 100%.
Well, why?
I bet him in game 6, bet him in game 7. Because if they win, I win money.
He bet him in game 6. He knew after Boston didn't win game 5, he goes, this is coming back to Boston. He was adamant on the show. He said that Toronto was going to win. So he's riding it out. What else you got in basketball? What is that? Derby bets?
No, it's some Timberwolves. How tonight?
Game 1.
Take them in the money line in the series. I will take them plus 4.5. I got 5, but you're right, guys. The line has gone down. And I will take, plus 1.5. I'll lay 40 cents in the series, and I'll take the points. Let's go with my horse. The 4.
Horses.
Everybody loves freedom. Catching freedom. 10-1.
Oh, my.
Watch out for this horse.
Malusis.
I think he's a very, very dangerous horse. Buyer figures improving every race. Flavien Prat is a jockey who I can trust in a big race. I know this horse, he's just one of these guys that I love. I also like Honor Marie. Watch out for this horse at 20-1. I'm going to be betting this horse across the board. I think this horse is very dangerous as a dog being thrown in all exotics. So that's what we're doing with those picks right there, guys. Honor Marie to hit the podium.
The scratch, though. Cam, be careful with the scratch for Honor Marie's might get scratched. Just be watching for that before you make that bet. Just watch it.
Watch my Kentucky Derby video. Now I'm going to have to redo it.
Top of the order, top of the hour, you'll see Cam on Sports Range. Don't move.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Last segment with us here on InGame Live. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault. Thanks for Cam Stewart for stopping on by. Cam couldn't believe I'm betting the Leafs tomorrow. Of course I'm betting the Leafs tomorrow.
He's actually not happy about it at all. He thought you were playing him.
Not playing them all. I won the bet in game 6. I'll win the bet in game 7 potentially, or the Bruins win in advance, and I'm good. So, it's a win-win for me on these situations. I'm good either way. So It's the old John Anik School of Gambling. If you know John Anik, he's the play-by-play voice of the UFC, who, by the way, have a UFC card tomorrow night, 3:01 in Brazil. It's the early start time for that card. Watch it for there. The main event, Pantoja. The dude he's fighting is from New Zealand. They keep on making fun of the way he looks, Dave. They think he looks like a school teacher, but he's
why?
Because he just does. He doesn't look like a fighter. He just has a very non-threatening demeanor about him. The way he looks, everything else. The fight to go the distance is interesting. Minus 152 on the no. I would lean towards the no. I like Pantoja to win the fight. I like him to go inside the distance as well for tomorrow night for UFC 301 in the main event. So it should be fun. Oh, there's the 5-way. Look at the 5-way. Great work with the graphics, guys. That's phenomenal. Yeah, I think you could probably Pantoja by KO. I don't know, but by sub is very real. Pantoja by sub, I like.
3-1?
Yeah, I like that. That would, but again, inside the distance, plus 230. That's so strange, though. Plus 230, all those are juiced. All those are heavily juiced away, but inside the distance is juiced, is the heavy favorite at minus 152.
No.
That's
no.
Yeah.
Fight to go to distance, no.
Oh,
it's
so
minus
yeah.
152.
Yeah, no. And inside the distance. That's inside the distance.
Right, but by submission is 3-1. By knockout, did you see that? Is 5-1.
But points is plus 230. That's a pretty good price on points
to go to decision. Yeah.
So you could bet 1 unit on submission or by KO. Bet each side of Pantoja to go on that. I mean, obviously, he loses, you lose both bets. But if he wins, it's telling you he's not going to go to the cards to win.
Right.
So you can take a shot if you want to take a shot on that. So on that. Yeah. So what are you betting tomorrow? Bruins or Maple Leafs? Who wins?
Under. Again. I really like the under. I think we're starting to see it, right? As the games go, it's
Toronto
not
in the
more
under.
meaningful. It just there's no space. And you're told don't take chances. It takes a lot to actually to score goals. I don't think we see penalties. Toronto's playing discipline. They're getting the goaltending. Our guy Bonvy just came in. He said he was watching us on SportsGrid. He's pretty excited that Edmonton's playing Vancouver.
He likes the matchup.
He thinks Edmonton's going to. He thinks Edmonton's going to kind of end the thing in 5. I think Cam's right. I think that's going. That's a long series.
I don't like if I'm Edmonton, I don't like to play a team like Vancouver that's going to slow the tempo down and not race with me. I want to skate. I don't want to play and slog. Yep. I want to skate. I want to use McDavid's speed. I don't want any part of Vancouver if I'm Edmonton. I don't like that at all. It's a bad matchup. I think Vancouver can win.
This is so cool. I'm watching Tocchet's post-game interview, and he was on with those guys at the desk. TNT. And they're all so excited for him. He's so excited. I mean, you put this team together like this and all the adversity. They're on their third string goalie. Everything happened. They get through the series. Now they can take a break for a couple days and get ready for Edmonton,
healthy.
Man. That's exciting.
Get Demko back in net. I mean, you need Demko healthy. If you're going to make a run to the cup, you got to get Demko healthy.
Proving that you don't. They just did it.
Well, I know, but that's a kid. How long is that kid going to keep going? Third string goaltender. You want Demko in net. You want your guy. You bring him back healthy and good to go. You could do a lot. I mean, look what happened with the Knights tonight. They're going with Aiden Hill. It's flip a coin. Logan Thompson, Aiden Hill. What do? Bruins are riding Swayman at least tomorrow. So that's, but a lot of guys worried about their job tomorrow. We're very curious about how tight the sticks are getting gripped there for the Boston Bruins early.
Are we getting a game 7, Vegas and Dallas?
No.
I don't think so either.
Although I like your underplay, but I hope that's right. I just don't. I think Dallas, 4 in a row, they woke up. They just woke up. No score in the Orioles. I need that to come in. The Orioles win that game. It's a winning day for me. So let's see if we can get that done here with the Orioles taking on 0-0 with the Reds coming up for that. Red Sox and the Twins. It's 3-0 Twins. Base loaded bottom 7. They're going to blow that game wide open there. And we got the late game starting Braves and the Dodgers. Should be a good one. He's Dave. I am Matt. Every Friday night, you guys get us here on SportsGrid. A lot of fun stuff. I'll be back tomorrow with Joe Ranieri going through all this fun and run for the Roses for the Kentucky Derby, the 150th running Sports Rage. Up next here on SportsGrid.